Welcome to my views and news. Some new stories for you. Before that, three corrections for you. In a video today, I said that Abune Serios, the Archbishop who has split over the Orthodox Church, addressed in English language in Kamte. I shared a video, but the quality of the video was very poor. Now, what we have learned is that the man addressing people in Nakamte isn't Abune Serios. He is Abune Evostotios, another archbishop who supported Abune Serios, and the three archbishops, they made appointments of 26 bishops, which led to start of conflict within the church. And Abune Evostotios did speak in English in Nakamte. He has lived in the US, and there allegations of sexual misconduct were leveled against him. So the man addressing in English was Abune Evostotios. Abune Serios can speak fluently Afan Oromo language. Secondly, in the previous video, I shared picture of PM Abiy having a meeting with TPLF leaders, and there were government officials too at the meeting. I said that one of the TPLF members could be Alim Gabrewahid, but several viewers corrected. They said that the man seen in the picture is Ambassador Wandimo Asamino, who was part of, I think, Tigray's committee of negotiators, which negotiated Pretoria Agreement. So no Alim Gabrewahid seen in the meeting. Namake was there, Ridwan was there, to Getachew Sad Khan and Varadev. And meeting was held reportedly in southwest region of Ethiopia, which split with SNNPR. It became a separate regional state. Thirdly, viewers, very important update. Since yesterday, it was being claimed that Protestant church was Protestant officials, members, followers, they are backing this new conflict within Orthodox Church, and pictures of a bank receipt were being shared that a Protestant church transferred money to the account of a bishop who has been appointed by the splinter faction. So it was being alleged that the new splinter faction is backed by Protestant church. But that seat, Apostolic Reformation Protestant Church, has clarified that it is using a house on rent. The house is owned by the bishop, Gabre Exiaber. That is why the church transferred 225,000 birds to the account of this bishop, who is part of 25 bishops who were appointed by the three archbishops in mostly in Oromo. So it was a sort of a business deal between the Protestant church and this Orthodox bishop who is part of the 25 members. Now, some news stories for you. First one is about a meeting between Abune Matthias, the patriarch of the Orthodox Church, and a delegation from Russia. Russian ambassador to Ethiopia and some Russian members of Duma, members of parliament, called on Abune Matthias, the patriarch, today. Why is Russia actively involved in this conflict? We saw a statement from the ambassador, Russian ambassador to Ethiopia, 2 days ago when he was interviewed by a news outlet about the conflict. And today they were in a meeting with the patriarch. Well, the reason is internal conflict which is being faced by Russian Orthodox Church. Secondly, I shared with you in a previous video that smear campaign, character assassination of the bishops, archbishops is underway. On daily basis, we're seeing pictures, videos, and letters. Purpose is to discredit the bishops. Especially, campaign is underway against this Oromo faction. Now, pictures of one of the bishops are being shared. One of the bishops who were appointed by the splinter faction archbishops. His picture with wine and a girl are being shared. And thirdly, Tigray People Liberation Fund has held extensive discussions. 3-day long meeting was held with participation of hundreds of TPLF members. What was discussed? Why was there a need for such a meeting? Firstly, viewers, Russian ambassador to Ethiopia, Evgeny Turkhin, and some Russian members of parliament, they today called on Abune Martius, the Ethiopian Orthodox Patriarch. Meeting was held. And in coming days, a delegation of Ethiopian Orthodox Church will visit Moscow. The Russian ambassador said that demolition of Ethiopian Orthodox Church means destruction of the government and the country. So it's not that the church is going to be split, but it will be a blow to the government and to the country as well. So in a way, he called for unity, but he said church law should be respected. Now, why is Russia actively involved in this conflict? 2 days ago, the ambassador was interviewed by a news outlet, and then today they held a meeting with the patriarch. Russian Orthodox Church is faced with internal crisis. Why? Because Ukrainian Orthodox Church has split. In February, Russia-Ukraine war broke out. Before that, Orthodox Church of Ukraine was being supervised by Russian Orthodox Church. Russian Patriarch was the Patriarch of Ukrainian Orthodox Church as well. But after the war broke out in May, Ukrainian Orthodox Church announced independence, split, which is obviously being rejected by the Russian Orthodox Church. Not similar, but a little bit similar thing is happening in Ethiopia, that a group is announcing a sort of split. And since Russian Orthodox Church has rejected Ukrainian announcement of Ukrainian Church, that is why it is now opposing the Oromo faction, it seems. It is supporting one Ethiopian Orthodox Church, like it wants Ethiopian Orthodox Church to support one Russian Orthodox Church with Ukrainian Orthodox Church under the command of Russian Church. So that is why we are seeing such messages, such statements from the Russian ambassador. And we could see close coordination between Russian and Ethiopian Orthodox churches. But both are facing internal crisis. Secondly, viewers, smear campaign, character assassination of Oromo bishops is underway. Pictures are being shared, videos are being shared. It is being claimed that some of them are married, some of them have kids, some of them are involved in immoral activities. We saw a letter against Abune Evastatios that when he was in the US, he was involved in sexual misconduct. Now, pictures of one of the appointees out of 25, one of the appointees who were appointed by the trio of archbishops, his pictures are being shared. You can see one such picture can be seen. The bishop can be seen with wine and a girl. So it is being alleged that He's involved in immoral activities. And we know that Orthodox Church prohibits marriage. The bishops, they cannot marry. It isn't allowed in the church law. So that is why an attempt is being made to discredit these bishops who are splitting in Oromia. That people in Oromia, followers Orthodox sect in Oromia, should reject these bishops. That is why this campaign is underway. But several stories have been proven as false, like the one which was being shared that one of the priests was receiving financial aid from a Protestant church, and I clarified a few minutes ago what happened actually. Lastly, viewers, Tegarai People Vision Fund has held 3-day-long meeting with participation of hundreds of TPLF members. From across Tegarai, TPLF members of all ranks, they participated. More than 700 participated. And DWTV today confirmed that it was a lengthy discussion, participatory, democratic, independent discussion. Discussion was focused on the current situation in which Tigray is and what is the solution. And the party says, TPLF, that after extensive discussions, the party leadership, the party workers, they have reached a common understanding that Pretoria Agreement must be implemented completely. And that the agreement is a result of the struggle of the party, struggle of not just the party, struggle of the people of Tigray, forces of Tigray, diaspora of Tigray, all made sacrifices, and that is how this agreement was achieved. Though the agreement was a result of losses suffered by Tigray forces, by the way. But TPLF is selling a new narrative that it is because of its struggle that this agreement was signed. No. The agreement was signed because TPLF was ready to make concessions. It faced battlefield losses. But it's a good thing that it realized that continuation of war could lead to more destruction. So agreement should be respected. The party further says that it will support return of Tigrayans from abroad, like refugees in Sudan, and that reshuffle of Tigray's regional government of cabinet will lead to more participation of all involved players in decision making, which we discussed in some previous videos, that Tigray Regional Council, TPLF, they have approved reshuffle of the cabinet. It could be a reshuffle of the cabinet, or it could be a move towards establishment of interim government in Tigray. That's not clear. But reshuffle of executive administration in Tigray was mentioned by TPLF in today's statement too. Basically, TPLF is trying to create unity within the party and within Tigray too, because TPLF in the statement at the end thanks Tigrayan diaspora, Tigrayan fighters, Ethiopian nationalities, that Tigray will implement the peace deal. It is committed to it, and it wants all the people to play their part. So TPLF is trying to create internal unity. It means there are issues. There are issues. Internal security is one of the issues. That is mentioned too in the statement, that the government will focus on improving the law and order situation in Tigray. So overall, we can say that it's a good development, that Tigray People Vision Fund is trying to create internal unity so that all should back implementation of the peace deal. And there should be dialogue, intra-party dialogue as well. between TPLF and Salzburn and TPLF and TIP, TPLF and Betona, TPLF and military as well. So comprehensive dialogue is needed, involvement of diaspora as well. Comprehensive dialogue needed to determine the future course, which has been finalized by TPLF when it signed the agreement. Now it is trying to get the support which was missing because there were some dissenting voices in Tigray, outside Tigray. So efforts underway. But all parties are backing the agreement. No one wants resumption of armed hostilities because people of Tigray, opposition parties, TPLF, Tigray forces, they have suffered a lot. Diaspora suffered too indirectly because their relatives, their families are in Tigray. So all want peace, but all are, not all, but some sections are concerned about future. That if TPLF is completely disarmed, not TPLF, if Tigray is completely disarmed, what would happen in case of aggression from Eritrea, from Addis Ababa? That is why they have their reservations about the peace deal.